The earliest written record of noodles is found in a book dated to the Eastern Han period. Noodles made from wheat dough became a prominent food for the people of the Han dynasty. The oldest evidence of noodles was from 4,000 years ago in China. In 2005, a team of archaeologists reported finding an earthenware bowl that contained 4,000-year-old noodles at the Lijiya archaeological site. These noodles were said to resemble lamian, a type of Chinese noodle. Analyzing the husk phytoliths and starch grains present in the sediment associated with the noodles, they were identified as millet belonging to Panicum millesium and Setaria italica. However, other researchers cast doubt that Lijiya's noodles were made from specifically millet. It is difficult to make pure millet noodles. It is unclear whether the analyzed residue were directly derived from Lijiya's noodles themselves. Starch morphology after cooking shows distinctive alterations that does not fit with Lijiya's noodles, and it is uncertain whether the starch-like grains from Lijiya's noodles are starch as they show some non-starch characteristics. Food historians generally estimate that pasta's origin is from among the Mediterranean countries. A homogeneous mixture of flour and water called yttrian is described by 2nd century Greek physician Galen. Among 3rd to 5th century Palestinians as yttrium is described by the Jerusalem Talmud and as ytria, Arabic cognate of the Greek word, string-like shapes made of semolina and dried before cooking is defined by the 9th century Aramean physician and lexicographer Isho Bar Ali. Wheat noodles in Japan, udon, were adapted from a Chinese recipe as early as the 9th century. Innovations continued, such as noodles made with buckwheat, naengmyeon, were developed in the Joseon dynasty of Korea. Ramen noodles, based on southern Chinese noodle dishes from Guangzhou but named after the northern Chinese lamian, became common in Japan by 1900. Kezmi or aris noodles were eaten by Turkic peoples by the 13th century. Ash reshta, noodles in thick soup with herbs, is one of the most popular dishes in some Middle Eastern countries such as Iran, which was brought through Turco-Mongol. In the 1st century BCE, Horace wrote of fried sheets of dough called lagana. However, the cooking method doesn't correspond to the current definition of either a fresh or dry pasta product. The first concrete information on pasta products in Italy dates to the 13th or 14th centuries. Pasta has taken on a variety of shapes, often based on regional specializations. In Germany, documents dating from 1725 mention spatzel. Medieval illustrations are believed to place this noodle at an even earlier date. Noodles are a type of food made from unleavened dough which is rolled flat and cut, stretched or extruded, into long strips or strings. Noodles are a staple food in many cultures made into a variety of shapes. While long, thin strips may be the most common, many varieties of noodles are cut into waves, helices, tubes, strings, or shells, are folded over, or cut into other shapes. Noodles are usually cooked in boiling water, sometimes with cooking oil or salt added. They are often pan-fried or deep-fried. Noodles are often served with an accompanying sauce or in a soup. Noodles can be refrigerated for short-term storage or dried and stored for future use. Instant noodles are often criticized as unhealthy or junk food. A single serving of instant noodles is high in carbohydrates, salt, and fat, but low in protein, fiber, vitamins, and essential minerals. Increased consumption of instant noodles has been associated with obesity and cardiometabolic syndrome in South Korea, which has the highest per capita instant noodle consumption, 74.1 servings of instant noodles per person in 2014 worldwide. The study consisted of 3,397 college students, 1,782 male, 1,615 female, aged 18 to 29 years who participated in a health checkup. Statistical analysis using a general linear model that adjusted for age, body mass index, gender, family income, health-related behaviors, and other dietary factors important for cardiometabolic risk, showed a positive association between the frequency of instant noodle consumption and plasma triglyceride levels, diastolic blood pressure, and fasting blood glucose levels in all subjects. Additionally, a study by researchers at Harvard University of 10,711 adults, 54.5% women, 19 to 64 years of age reported a 68% higher risk of metabolic syndrome among women who consume instant noodles more often than twice a week, but not in men. Lead contamination in Nestlé's Maggi brand instant noodles made headlines in India, with some 7 times the allowed limit. Several Indian states banned the product, as did Nepal. On the 5th of June 2015, The Food Safety and Standards Authority of India banned all 9 approved variants of Maggi instant noodles from India, terming them unsafe and hazardous for human consumption. Instant noodles, or instant ramen, is a type of food consisting of noodles sold in a pre-cooked and dried block with flavoring powder and/or seasoning oil. The dried noodle block was originally created by flash frying cooked noodles, and this is still the main method used in Asian countries. Air-dried noodle blocks are favored in Western countries. Dried noodle blocks are designed to be cooked or soaked in boiling water before eating. Ramen, a Japanese adaptation of Chinese noodle soup, is sometimes used as a descriptor for instant noodle flavors by some Japanese manufacturers. It has become synonymous in the United States for all instant noodle products. Frozen noodles and chilled noodles are types of instantly prepared Asian or European noodles that are sold frozen or chilled. These products differ from prepackaged dehydrated noodles in a number of ways. In flavor, in texture, and in that they normally come packaged with ingredients besides the noodles, such as vegetables, meat, and soup stock. Frozen noodles have been cited as having advantages over dried noodles, the process tending to make them less sticky, firmer and thicker than their dried counterparts. Both frozen and dehydrated noodles have a longer shelf life than chilled noodles, which tend to clump after approximately 2 weeks of refrigeration due to gelatinization of starch. While both frozen and chilled noodles offer convenience for the mass market, and for short preparation times, each have been found to cause loss of optimal texture when tested using alkaline and white salted noodles. In a 2001 study by D.W. Hatcher and M.J. Anderson of the Canadian Grain Commission, textural attributes of the frozen variety were tested at 1 and 4 weeks after frozen storage, and the chilled variety at the 30-minute and 1, 2 and 7 days marks. Both the frozen and the chilled noodles showed a decline in textural characteristics which increased in severity the further forward in time they were sampled after storage. It was also indicated that the texture of raw frozen noodles, cooked after defrosting, as opposed to pre-cooked and then frozen noodles, fared much better.